Hey, yo, peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel, Reece, in real life, not in fake life, because they just faking about their life. It's been a minute since I've been up in it, but it still ain't nothing changed. Make sure you subscribe on the videos. Make sure you liking, you love, you commenting, you giving it to the people, making sure you sharing the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? If you haven't already by now, you know what I'm saying, the album number 9 dropped already, 9/9/19, the energy of 9, you know what I'm talking about? That's the beginning and end, the beginning of something new, the beginning of something special, the beginning of us being able to take over the universe, you know what I'm talking about? If you haven't seen the video, Return of the Gods 9, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you get that. Now, you know what I'm saying, I just wanted to talk to y'all briefly, come in and talk about like controlling your emotions, you know what I'm saying? Like the one thing about us being on this planet, like especially people who are spiritually tapped into where you trying to get to and you trying to get to another level, man, the hardest thing for us to be able to control is our emotions, you know what I'm saying? Because not only are we the most powerful people on the planet, we are also we can be the most humblest people, and we can also be the most violent people, you know what I'm saying? Like even when in spiritual relationships, it can get very violent because, you know what I'm saying, we need to learn how to be able to control our emotions, you know what I'm saying, like that. And I remember it could be ego, but then at the end of the day, like a lot of it could just be like being attached, and I think that's a lot of it. Like somebody outside of me that's like not my kids or my lady or something like that to that nature, they can't really penetrate to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, and even then I've gotten into situations with people that I look back and I be like, dang, you know what, I should have just even walked away from it and really learn how to be able to keep that straight poker face where it's like letting people say whatever it is that they want to be able to say to you. The one thing in this life that I've had to learn, and I've continuing to keep learning, is that I can't control what people say to me. I can only control what I say back. And even in the midst of a heated confrontation, that I should be able to have control of myself. Now, am I saying that it's gonna always be like that? No, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it's gonna be like that. Even in the midst of you going back and forth with somebody, you should even be able to have control of your emotions and control of whatever it is that you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? And for real, not even allowing people to be able to get to you, because at the end of the day, man, none of this is real, and none of these relationships, some of them that, especially when they just got a 3-dimensional purpose, they serve no purpose, you know what I'm saying? It's a difference between the elite and the ones who are here for a whole different type of level, you know what I'm saying? And that's fine, but we all are here for consciousness to be able to evolve. And I think the best thing that you could be able to do with controlling your emotions is not getting involved and not being attached to it and just walking away. You know, we've learned in this society, I know for me personally, I can say I picked up a lot of things from this society that's just like, I don't even understand why I even fight for it, or why would I even fight for it, or what made me even start fighting for it, you know. Somebody call you a punk, or somebody call you outside of your name, and somebody call you all these different type of things, and at the end game, none of it really means anything, because it doesn't define you. It doesn't define who you are, where you're going, and what you think about yourself. Controlling your emotions is probably the best thing that you can honestly do in this world, you know what I'm saying? And continuing your evolving, you know what I'm saying? The one thing about it is that we can't just get so caught up in thinking that it's all about knowledge and reading and tapping into our higher selves, and not forget that this is our lessons. And everything is a lesson, and being able to control yourself is one of the key lessons, you know what I'm saying? Controlling your emotions. Because like I said, spiritual people have the power to vibrate the whole universe. You know what I'm saying? If we vibrate low on it, it's different from when people who don't have a soul vibrate low. With a person who doesn't have a soul vibrate low, they're already in their comfort zone. This is Earth University. This is hell. This is the place where they are already, this is their stumping grounds. You know what I'm saying? This is where they, their soulless pit ends. They don't have a soul, so it doesn't vibrate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to just take for instance, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at somebody like, Look at somebody like when you was talking about like somebody like Tupac, right? He had the power to vibrate. Even if he was vibrating high, everybody in the world was vibrating high at that time. When he was vibrating high and he was talking about doing this and doing this, but then when he vibrated low, everybody went crazy. Everybody went crazy. And what I'm trying to show you is, using just that references, the chosen people who are here that have that type of frequency to be able to lead these nations and lead humanity into the next place. We have that same vibration. If we get mad, we got the power to be able to turn this whole thing into a shitstorm if we wanted to. But if we want to be able to make this thing straight heaven on earth and you know what I'm saying, and being able to try to create that, then we can be able to do that. But it also stems from our emotions. We got to get back to the place where we got to kill our egos. And sometimes it's not even ego, it's just emotions. It's being emotionally evolved, you know what I'm saying? And emotions, when you know something about emotions they're just thoughts that come from something that trigger you from a past thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what emotions are based off. Emotions are based off of the past. So if you can move past your past and get past that and get to the root of the problem with the emotions, then you can start being able to deal with it. The first thing about it is with your emotions is somebody in your life, whether it be mother, brother, sister, cousin, somebody that meant something to you, said some words to you that didn't make you feel good about it, and you never recovered from it. And so now every time you hear those words or you hear that type of thing, it triggers something inside of you. So it brings up those emotions that you haven't even dealt with yet, you haven't dealt with, and you still trying to be able to deal with. And even when you think you at your highest spiritual point, you get pulled right back down because you haven't dealt with it. And the only reason I could be able to speak or even talk to you about this situation is because I done done it myself. You know what I'm saying? Somebody will say something to me and I go off the handle and be like, this. You know what I'm saying? And then in reality, and I look back on it, it's like, man, why did I even get involved in that? That's what they want you to do. They don't want you to be at this place, and then they can go around and be like, you ain't this, you ain't this, you ain't this. But the reality of it is I'm still trying to learn how to be able to deal with the emotions. But the reality of it is that I'm aware. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of my heat, in the midst of my of me doing things, I'm aware now. I'm aware. You know what I'm saying? And addressing it. You know what I'm saying? I think the most arrogant thing that you could possibly be able to do in this life is think that there's nothing wrong with the way that you approach people or the way that you approach situations. You know what I'm saying? And you got to get past that. Now that's ego. That's ego. Knowing that you do have trigger points inside of your life and that you got things that you got to deal with, that's absolutely perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? We're all emotional creatures to a point. You know what I'm saying? But living inside of your emotions is the thing that you want to get outside of. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you don't have a right to be able to feel anything about anything, because you do have the right to be able to feel stuff about anything that you may disagree with. But you just got to know that that's just emotions, and get back to the end point in the real game, and that's being able to conquer yourself, and that's the key. All right? So control your emotions, and you will be able to control yourself to be able to get to your higher self, You know what I'm talking about? Hey, I'm gone. Peace and blessings, blessings and peace. It's the boy Jarmel, Reece, in real life, not in fake life, because they just faking about their life. Hey, yo, make sure you get that album. Like I told you before, album 9 at 9 Energy. You know what I'm saying? It's a classic. If you definitely into the spirituality, you definitely into all the, you know what I'm saying? If you're into good music, forget the spirituality. You into good music, you know what I'm saying? And you really want to be able to hear something that's at its peak and really get ready to change the universe, go and listen to it. It's a classic, I promise you. All right, peace. Hey, yo, they been wasting their time.